Are you guys here for me?
Yeah, hi.
Oh, why? Can you maintain your distance there?
Can. Of course, yeah.
And also identify yourselves. Did you just switch your camera on?
Yeah.
All right. Please don't delete that. I'll be requesting a copy, all right? Also yours. Please don't delete that. I'll be requesting a copy.
Deleted. Of course.
All right. Can you identify yourselves, please,
Can I
officers?
ask you first, sorry, what was your first name, my friend?
I'm not at liberty to give you that. When you approach a member of the public, you identify yourself. That's your policy, so identify yourself.
Okay. So my name is Simon Tops, Police Constable 693, Simon Tops, Avon, Somerset Police.
And yours is?
My colleague.
5512, Josh Burnell.
All right, and what crime have I committed, or do you suspect me of committing?
Okay, what are you being so hostile?
I'm not being hostile, I'm just asking you, because when the police approach me,
Yeah.
police come to deal with crimes, do they not?
Not necessarily, no.
What do they come to deal with? Civil matters?
Well, we're here to prevent crime.
So what crime do you suspect me of about to commit?
Not suggesting you're committing a crime at all.
All right then.
What was your first name, so I can talk to you on first name basis?
No, it's fine, I'm not going to give you that.
Okay. Are you filming at the moment?
I am indeed, for my own
Okay, what's the
protection.
purpose of you filming?
My own purpose.
Right.
Without identifying themselves or explaining why they're there, forcing Ed to ask basic questions just to understand who he's dealing with. Rather than addressing his reasonable question about what offense they suspect, they quickly label his behavior as hostile. That label is often misapplied when someone simply requests clarification or accountability. Asking for legal grounds isn't aggression. It's expecting officials to follow proper procedure before intervening. If there were genuine suspicions of wrongdoing, they would have been able to clearly outline them from the start instead of deflecting the question.
Can I ask why you're here at the
Can I
unit
ask you a
filming?
question? Am I being detained?
No, you're not being detained, no.
See you later then.
But you can't go through there.
I just asked the gentleman if I could go through, and he
Okay,
said yeah.
Chris?
Did you not just tell me the way to the bus station?
You did ask me where the bus is, alright.
And left at the machine and all the way down?
I did say that.
Yeah.
Okay, can
Okay.
I just...
No, you can't actually.
Okay, well, whilst you're walking, I'll just make it quite
Are you
clear
following
for you.
me?
I'm not following
You're
you.
harassing me.
I'm not harassing
I'm trying
you,
to
I'm
walk
talking
away.
to
Okay,
you.
I'm going to go this way instead then.
No, if you...
So if you no, I'm going to go to the bus stop.
Okay.
Okay. Leave me alone. All right.
Okay, that's fine. If you make your way to the bus stop, that'd be great.
I'm not going. You're not going to follow me.
What?
Which way are you going?
Sorry?
Which way are you going?
Look, if you don't want me to follow...
I'm just asking you which way you're going.
I'm not here to call...
I'm just asking you which way you're going.
It doesn't matter which way I go. I can go whichever way I like. I'm not
All
being...
right, I'll wait for you to go then.
I'm not being dictated to by you.
Do you know your
where
oath?
I go. All right?
Do you know your oath?
Yeah, I do.
Can you say it to me?
No,
I'll start you
I'm
off.
not going to say it to you.
I'll start you off.
I'm not here to justify my actions.
No,
to
you're
you.
here to uphold the law.
I am.
Have I broken it?
Not at the moment, you haven't.
So leave me alone.
They inform him that he isn't being detained, so he acts on that and begins to walk away. Exactly what someone free to leave is allowed to do. At that point, the tone shifts once more. The officers start questioning his destination and follow behind him, creating the impression that his freedom exists only in words. It's a contradiction. Either a person's movement is restricted or it isn't. The situation then becomes personal. Ed asks the officer to repeat his oath, not for show, but to remind him of the responsibility that comes with the role. The officer declines, insisting he doesn't owe an explanation. That response says a lot. Law enforcement is built on accountability and transparency, not on the idea that justification is optional.
This isn't consensual.
That's fine.
Policing by consent. Leave me alone.
Okay, off you go then.
No, I will
Have a
go.
nice day.
I will go when I'm ready.
Okay, that's
Okay.
fine.
Cool.
Have a nice day.
I will. I'm actually having a lovely day.
Okay. If you could make your way to the bus station, though,
Why?
that would be great.
Why?
Okay, that's fine. I'm not here.
So why do you keep telling me what to do?
I'm not telling you what to
You
do.
are. You just said make your way to the bus station.
You
Like,
said
what
you were
right?
making your way- you
Can I just
said-
ask you, what right do you have to tell me what to do when I haven't broken the law?
Okay.
You haven't got a right to tell me what to do when I haven't broken the law. So stop trying to bully me.
I'm not trying to.
Yes,
bully
you are. You're trying to
find
tell
out-
me what to
I'm
do.
trying to find out why you're walking around a university
Because
with
I'm
a
a,
camera.
I'll tell you why. Because I'm allowed to.
Okay.
Photography is
But
not a
some
crime.
of this university is private premises.
No, it's not,
It
bro.
is,
Do you know?
okay,
Are you
and that's why you're wrong.
are you familiar with Section 33 of the Criminal Justice Act 1972?
No, I'm not. No,
you're
not
not. But you
particularly.
should be.
Okay.
Because it's the law.
Okay.
Which says at the material time of operating, the public are allowed access, whether upon payment or not.
To where?
Anywhere that is open. This is a public space. These lines were painted by the council.
The interaction drifts into a subtler form of pressure. Directions are delivered as though authority alone automatically makes them lawful. When that doesn't work, the justification switches to claims that the area is private property, stated with confidence, but without evidence. Ed doesn't respond emotionally. Instead, he focuses on the legal framework. He asks whether the officer is familiar with Section 33 of the Criminal Justice Act 1972, which recognizes access rights in locations the public are normally allowed to enter. The officer admits he isn't aware of it. That admission is significant. Enforcing limits without understanding their legal basis suggests reliance on assumption rather than knowledge. Ed then highlights the council road markings, indicators of a public highway that wouldn't typically appear on genuinely restricted land.
Well, I think you're mistaken.
No,
It's part of
I'm
this
not.
university's private property.
Can I just ask you
There
another
is
something?
public access.
If I was to
part
say
of
to
the
you,
university.
if I was to say to you, I'm not going anywhere, what could you do?
Sorry?
If I was to say to you, I'm not going to leave now, what could you do?
Well, I don't intend to do anything.
You
at the moment.
couldn't do anything because I haven't broken the law. When those guys rang you and reported a crime, what you should have said to them, he's not breaking
Well,
the
I
law.
reported a crime.
What did they do?
Reported a suspicious person filming at a university campus.
Is photography a crime? You're recording. You're
Well, I don't
recording.
know.
You guys, let
How
me
do
just
I
say,
know that you're not filming for terrorist
do you know,
purposes?
you see that on your uniform?
Yep.
That thin blue line thing?
How
That is
do I-
an utter disgrace.
How do I know?
You disgrace the country with that.
How do I know that you're not filming for terrorist purposes?
Sir, we
for example?
go on what we do know, what we do, not what we don't.
Well, not necessarily.
No,
That's again
so-
where you're wrong. Isn't
Okay,
It?
so what reasonable suspicion do you have that I'm a terrorist,
Well,
sir?
you're filming a university campus.
So you're
with a
trying to get
camera.
me on Section 43.
No, I'm not.
So why'd you mention it then?
Well, because I'm just explaining that you seem to think that I can only act when a crime's been reported. But
No. You're more than willing to come up to me and ask me.
Yeah.
If you can articulate reasonable suspicion that I may be a terrorist,
Well, you're walking around a university campus with a camera. And
This is a uni.
and you won't explain why.
but I don't have to.
Security reporting
calling-
someone as suspicious doesn't suddenly transform lawful filming into a criminal act. It simply reflects discomfort with how it looks. When Ed raises the straightforward question, is recording itself illegal? There's no direct response, because there isn't a clear legal basis to challenge it. Instead, the focus shifts to speculation, suggesting it could be linked to terrorism. That leap isn't evidence-based suspicion. It's a worst-case assumption. Ed counters by grounding the discussion in principle. Policing should rely on verifiable facts, not imagined possibilities. If the only observable conduct is filming in an area accessible to the public, then no specific offense has been identified. What's been expressed isn't suspicion of crime. It's unease about being recorded.
Well, then that gives me suspicion of what your activity is.
So you think I'm a terrorist? You have reasonable suspicion that I am up to terrorist activities.
I don't know why you're...
I'm not engaged in any
why are you
hostile
filming?
reconnaissance because I can, as my rights allow me to. Is this not a free country?
Yeah, but...
So, and am I not allowed to own a camera?
You are allowed to
You're
own a camera.
filming. What's the difference between
You're
you
allowed
and
to
I?
own a camera and you're allowed to film.
And what's
And
the
I'm
difference
not-
between you
and I'm not preventing you
why,
from doing that.
But why
I'm
are you
not
accusing me of
actually
being a
turning the camera
terrorist then?
I'm not accusing you of being
Well, why
a
are you saying I'm
terrorist.
suspicious?
I'm just saying there are some concerns about your
What concerns?
nature of why you're filming
What
in an empty
concerns?
university.
What concerns?
But then it gives me suspicion for why you're here with a camera.
Suspicion is not a crime.
No, but it gives me grounds to do certain things if I feel it necessary.
Are you threatening me?
I'm not threatening you.
So
I'm
what do you mean
explaining
then?
what the law is.
Well, you don't know the law because that's not
Well,
right.
I think I do.
Well, tell me what reasonable suspicion you have.
Well, why are you filming a university when it's
I'm not telling
closed
you.
with a camera?
I'm not telling you.
Okay, well then I'm suspicious.
That's fine. You can be suspicious.
I can, yeah.
Yeah, you can.
But then I can also act on that suspicion
No, you
if I
can't.
feel it appropriate.
You can. Yeah, you can, and I'll sue you.
Okay, well, but that's my decision.
Yeah, I know, and you'll lose your job.
Well, I'm not doing that, am I?
No, because you're scared
But
to.
you're not helping our cause.
I don't
here,
have
are
to
you?
help you.
Ed is
Ed ends
forced
up
to
repeat-
restate his argument because it keeps being ignored. Recording in a space open to public access doesn't become unlawful simply because others are uncomfortable with it. He points out the clear contradiction as well. While officers film him, they suggest his own camera is suspicious, exposing that the concern isn't really about recording itself, but about who is behind the lens. The conversation then shifts to claims that personal suspicions justify certain actions, which raises a serious issue, since suspicion is not unlimited authority. It must be reasonable, clearly defined, and connected to a genuine offense rather than based on vague assumptions or discomfort.
I don't have to help you, do I?
You don't have to.
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, okay. I think we understand where we are.
I know where I understand where I am. I know the
understand
law.
where I
You
am.
don't. You those gentlemen over there, the guys who called the police, whoever called the police, I suggest you go and speak to them about Section 5 of the Criminal Law Act 1967, making a false report, because that's wasting police time, which is actually a criminal offence.
Okay. It's been nice talking to you. If you're heading towards the bus stop, then
I'll go wherever I like.
have a lovely day.
I'll go wherever
Well,
I
you
like.
won't go wherever you like.
I will indeed.
Because parts of this.
I'll go
university-
anywhere that is publicly accessible. I will go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and no one will stop me.
Yeah.
Not those guys up there. Not you guys
But what
either.
you need to understand at the moment.
I don't need to understand
just say
anything.
that
I know
you're
the
clear
law.
Is so do I.
Yeah, no, you don't.
So do I. Okay.
You don't. You don't even
This
know
is
what Criminal Justice Section 33 of the Criminal Justice Act 1972 is. Do you know it?
This is a
You need to
private.
know the ins and outs.
Of course you know. Of course, if you're gonna uphold the law, you have to know the ins and outs of the law. How can you tell me that you don't have to know the ins and outs of the law, but then you're here to uphold it? How does that make sense?
Rather
Ed
than
doesn't
simply
just-
defending his own position, Ed shifts attention to the bigger picture by suggesting that the individual who made the exaggerated complaint could be the one at fault. He references the idea that laws exist against knowingly providing false information that wastes police resources, yet this angle receives no scrutiny, highlighting how focus stays fixed on him instead of the origin of the report. When officers claim he cannot move freely wherever he chooses, that argument only holds weight if they can clearly establish a lawful restriction, while he maintains he is standing in an area open to the public. Instead of resolving that point, an officer dismissively remarks that understanding legal details isn't necessary, a concerning implication that authority is being applied without full awareness of the legal boundaries meant to guide it.
You're even a Somerset Constabulary, innit?
Okay.
Absolute joke.
It's been a pleasure talking to you.
I haven't enjoyed myself, actually. You've ruined my day. So go away now, please.
Parts of the university are private premises. There are public access routes.
I won't go anywhere that is private. I haven't been anywhere that's private, and I will not go anywhere that's private. As you could probably understand from the way I speak, I know exactly what I'm doing, sir. I know the laws that surround what I'm doing. I don't appreciate you accusing me of being a terrorist.
Well,
What's your number
I've
again?
not accused you of being a terrorist. I've explained.
693. You threatened
No, I
me. You
haven't.
said, "Oh, now I've got reason."
I've not threatened you
listen,
at all.
the camera doesn't lie.
I've not threatened you.
The camera doesn't
You
lie.
can play your camera back.
I will.
Alright?
I'll be
I've not
playing
threatened
to your
you at all.
superior.
I'm just explaining that if you're filming an empty university that's actually closed at the moment to the university is actually closed. All right, to the students. It's
I'm not a
closed-
student.
It's closed to staff.
I'm not staff.
So why are you here?
I'm a member of the public, and I'm in a publicly accessible area.
Right.
That's why I'm
Okay.
here.
Well, that's fine. If you want to
I
film
know it's fine.
in open public spaces,
Yeah, and I'm allowed.
that's fine. But
Yeah.
you won't be filming inside buildings.
I don't want to film inside
okay?
a building.
And if you trespass in private property,
It's a civil matter. Are you telling me that you're going to do something for a civil matter?
I will do. 'Cause
Okay. Oh, okay, cool.
When the
And he pivots
conversation
to-
shifts to potential trespass inside buildings, the officer tries to justify pressure based on a scenario that hasn't occurred. Basic trespass is generally a civil issue between a property owner and the individual on their land, and doesn't automatically become a police matter unless there are specific aggravating circumstances. Authorities cannot preemptively threaten enforcement over a hypothetical civil dispute. In this case, Ed hasn't entered any building, hasn't bypassed security, and hasn't refused a lawful instruction tied to a clearly defined power.
And that's
if the
another
security
complaint.
asks you to leave a private
They
premises and you
but I
refuse,
haven't been on private property.
and you refuse
But I haven't
to,
been on private property.
then I'll have
Sir,
to consider
listen.
my powers under the breach of the peace.
Oh, so now you're threatening me for a crime that listen. What part of my behaviour is threatening or abusive?
Well, nothing at the moment.
Okay, so don't threaten me with something that
I'm not
hasn't
threatening
happened
you.
or that isn't going to
I
happen.
also
You
know
are.
the
That's
law.
no. Listen, you're
Okay.
just threatening me with breach of the peace when a breach of the peace isn't going to happen
Well,
because
one
I'm
of
not
my
acting in.
fundamental roles is to prevent a breach of the peace.
Yeah, but there's going to be no breach of the peace because I'm not acting in a
That's
threatening
right.
or abusive
So
behaviour.
All I'm saying is don't go into private
I could-
premises,
listen,
don't film in the
how many
buildings.
times do you want to say that?
Okay, otherwise...
How many times do you want to say that, considering the fact that I said...
And then I'll have to support them to prevent a breach of the peace, is all I'm saying.
That's fine. You
And
could
that's
do,
me knowing my law.
That's fine. You could do that, but I
I
promise
can,
you that if the course of action that you've just stated happens, I'll sue you,
Well, that's fine. You're entitled to sue
and I'm
me.
going to make a complaint. 3 complaints in this 8 minutes 46 seconds, and 3 complaints about you. You're smart for keeping your mouth shut.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
You can complain.
See you later, then, guys. Go.
Okay.
Be gone.
Out
Out
of
of
nowhere,
nowhere, the officer mentions breach of the peace, as if invoking it somehow strengthens his position. But that authority isn't meant to prop up an argument. It's reserved for situations where violence is imminent or someone's safety is at real risk. Ed cuts to the core question: what threatening or abusive act has he committed? The officer concedes, none at the moment. That response ends the claim. You can't cite breach of the peace while admitting no aggressive or harmful behavior is occurring. Without threats, violence, escalating crowds, or any volatility, invoking breach of the peace isn't preventive policing. It's a misuse of authority.
There's no need to be rude.
I'm not being rude.
Okay.
Plus, is rudeness a crime? Is it a free country? If I would like to be rude, I'm well within my rights to be rude.
Okay.
Okay? So go away, please, and leave me alone. You're harassing me.
Okay, that's fine. Thank
All
you
right?
very much.
Go away now. Told me I can't record in there, so now I'm going to have to walk round. You inform these guys that photography is not a crime as well, yeah? Educate these guys on the law. No. You're here. You're a public servant. You're here to uphold the law.
Yep.
These guys have broken the law by filing a false report.
They haven't,
Okay.
no.
Yes, they have.
Okay.
Yes, they have. They reported a crime when there wasn't a crime being committed. They made a false report. It is a breach of Section 5 of the Criminal Law Act 1967, and you are failing in your job right now,
Okay.
officer,
Well,
constable.
Thanks very much. It's been very nice talking to you. If you can maintain yourself on the public places,
I'll go wherever
okay,
I like. Thank you.
You know what my position is.
I'll
in
go
relation
wherever.
to
Yeah, you made threats. You made a threat of
I've not made a
arrest. You
threat.
did. You made an illegal threat of arrest. Bullies, guys.
What stands out at the end isn't confrontation, but avoidance. After all the questioning, suspicion, veiled threats, and asserted powers, the officers shift their focus away from Ed and onto security. Yet there's no attempt to examine the original report. The person who triggered the response goes unchallenged on camera. No clarification, no correction, no acknowledgement of exaggeration. That silence is significant. If the foundation of the encounter had been solid, it wouldn't need to be quietly abandoned. There's also a subtle shift in energy. Early on, the officers set the pace, approaching, questioning, and framing him as a potential problem. By the end, that control has faded. Ed hasn't been detained, searched, or formally warned. No offense has been specified, and no lawful boundary has been enforced. What remains is frustration, not from disorder or danger, but from an interaction that never justified itself. When he walks away, it's not retreat. It's a conscious decision to disengage from circular logic.